Hello, my friends. Hello, my friends. How y'all doing today? We got some good audio here, I believe. All right. All right, guys. Let's see here. I think I'm too close, right? All right, guys. How are you all today? Welcome to the channel. This is Felipe Coelho. Welcome to the Friday Live. This is the 43rd Guitar Friday Live. Been with you guys for more than a year now, probably 2 years, doing these lives constantly. So today we're going to be talking about Pedacinho de Céu. That is a Brazilian choro, very traditional, very beautiful Brazilian choro, a very memorable melody. And that's interesting. I'm just trying to see what you guys are getting over there. All right, I guess this is good enough, right? Are you guys ready to start? Say hi where you are at. I see we got 5 folks here. Please tell me where you are. If you can see me, if you can hear me. Let's look at this tune. Machek, you're here, bro. Thank you for being here, man. You are the man. You are the man. I enjoy, man, talking to you and knowing that you're out there listening. So this tune is a beautiful tune called Pedacinho de Céu. That means a little piece of the sky. It goes like this. And then it goes to the B part. Yeah. It's bad. Sorry, guys. All right, so here we go. Isaac, beleza, cara? Honra. Well, guys, welcome to the 47th, wow, Friday Live. I wanted to talk about this tune today. This is a beautiful tune called Pedacinho de Céu. It's a traditional Brazilian choro, and I just made this simple arrangement, not too complex. It's more about trying to bring out a little bit of the language, the beauty of the tune. So this is the kind of stuff that you do a lot of vibratos with, you know, when you play a melody like this. Try to really make it cry, make it sing out. It explores a different type of different thing of the guitar, kind of influenced by Yamandu a little bit in the way of playing. So this song is in the key of G. Every time you have a chord in G, you have either a major or minor chord, you can walk the bass up to the third, up to the fifth, and back. And that tends to outline the chord because you get the strong beat on the chord tone, the weak beat on the passing tone, and the strong beat on the chord tone, and the weak beat on the passing tone, and then chord tone. So you have this. So this is what I'm doing there. The melody goes like this. So right off the bat, you need to know this is the fifth and the third, and they are a sixth apart. So the way that I arranged this, I decided to do this, but doing the bass. Sorry, and then so here is the ninth and the arpeggio. 1, 5, 3. There's many ways of doing that. You can do it here. That's how I voiced it. And then the open strings B and G, you're still spelling out the G chord. This whole thing is over the G chord. So we got that. Opa, desculpa, Isaac, nem olhei as respostas aqui, mas mano, eu tô feliz da vida aí. Fazia 3 semanas já que não fazia essa live. Então, aqui, so here, I'm doing the fifth on the third string, and doing a bar, a pinky bar. That's another thing that some guitar players don't think about doing, but this is a great little tool that can get you playing different chords in different situations. It's a really good technique to have under your belt. So here I got this, and the bass. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. I play 4, 1, 4, 1. Isso. E aí aqui, and then here, I play the ninth right here, and then the 1 here. The 1 is G, right? And the 5, I had to come up with this interesting fingering, very unusual, but it was the only way I found to play this, because you went with the third finger here, so like that. Another way of doing it was trying to keep the second finger here like this. Right? If you can manage to get the second finger here, then you can just go, right? Or if you end up with a third finger there, then I found out that the best way to do it, here's the third finger, and I have to do it with that finger, and then go open string. Now here, what is this F chord going down E? It's basically a dominant chord. It's like a B dominant, but it's a substitute, right? Instead of the B dominant, you play the tritone substitution, which is like, tritone sub, and then it resolves half step down to E dominant. So over this guy here, the scale that you play is called Lydian dominant, right? And then the E. Now here is the Phrygian dominant, because it's the 5 of a minor chord, right? So when you get the 5 of a minor chord, here's the Phrygian dominant scale. minor, and the melody continues here. As you get the minor chord, just transpose the melody from the G major to the A minor. Sorry. No, it's not. Hold on a second. Yeah. So here I woke up the bass from A minor. 1, 2, 3, right? Here's nothing but the arpeggio with a ninth. The same thing that happened here. He's just transposing the melody by sequence. Exactly the same intervals you got here. You get here. It's 9, 1 in the arpeggio. 1, 5, 3, 1. 9, 1, 5, 3, 1 in A minor. So you got, and here you have an E flat dominant going down to D, right? So it's the same thing as a tritone sub of a 5 of 5. So you have here as a 5 of 5, but as a tritone sub, resolving down by half step, just like you had the F dominant resolving down to E. It's the same exact harmonic situation. Lydian dominant, and in this case Phrygian dominant, and here you have Lydian dominant, and then followed by Mixolydian. Yeah. Sorry guys. So here we go, up to that point. You could start the tune by going. Here I'm inverting the E, first inversion, based on the third. It's an E dominant, based on the third. And then continuing. So there, now continuing the A, you go, the melody goes. What the melody's doing here is approaching from the third to the fifth, right? And then a tonic. There's different ways to play this part. The way I like is this. The bass walks up. Right? So we have that same 1, 2, 3. So you got this. So here you have the first inversion G, right? The melody's up on the major 7th. 7, 6, 7. And then the diminished. Here is a B flat diminished, which is the same thing as a G diminished. You can think about it as a G diminished whenever this chord comes up. Here are the notes. Or diminished arpeggio. It's flat thirds stacked upon each other. Second degree. So this is a very famous passage where you go third degree down to the diminished, down to the second degree. Very common, right? That's very common. You should know that. And going on here, you have and then, so what this is just basically tonicizing A minor. You tonicize it by walking the bass up. I've explained this in other lives. Walk it up the scale, and every time you go through a passing tone rather than a chord tone, you play the dominant. So you have this passing tone, play dominant E, E dominant, and then A minor, first inversion, passing tone, play E dominant, A minor, second inversion, based on the fifth, F dominant. So going on, The melody here goes, so you go back to A, to the top, right? The form of the song is A, A, B, A. So now we're going back to the second A, and there's going to be a second ending. So back to the second A, you got... Right? We already learned that, right? The G major scale, right? Playing 9, 1, and 7, and then here's the secondary, the dominant substitution. 5 of 5 is E flat dominant, down to D dominant, and then the second ending it goes. So what happened there is basically 5 of 4. The tonic G becomes a dominant chord. The melody's up on the 9th. So 9-1 is the melody. And you're doing this. Right, so what happens here is the arpeggio is just straight up 1, 1, 7, 3, 5. So see, 1, 7, 3, 1, 7, 5, 3, 1, 7. So this is a fingering you must have under your fingers. Sorry, guys. Should play this 1,000 times a day until you get it without thinking. All right. Resolve to C. Right on the 6th. And down to the 5. And then notice that it's Lydian, right? That's why that's sharp 4. Here's the melodic minor. And then the melody goes 5, 6. And all the open strings. E flat dominant down to D7. So this is E flat dominant. It's very typical there. Cadence, you know, half step. Now the B part. Let's talk about this B part. So you got the ending. Now here you need a 2-5-1, the E minor. So you got F sharp and B dominant. So I like to put a phrase on there. A typical phrase, bass line phrase for 2-5-1 is. F sharp. Same thing as the G major scale, just starting on F sharp. And now think, as soon as you hit this note, you are on B dominant. Think B Phrygian dominant. Flat 9, and flat 13. Which is the E minor, E harmonic minor scale. So again, and the melody goes. What's doing here is approaching the 1 by leading tone, tonic, and the 5th. So the melody is right over the chord, tonic and 5th. Right? You need to be aware of this. So. dominant, it's the same thing as happened before, down to E and down to D. Now you have it happening down to B dominant. So it's a tritone sub, 5 of 5. You know, C dominant resolving down to B dominant. You're going to see this happening a lot. B half diminished. What is a B half diminished doing? B half diminished is only one thing it can do. Is a 2-5-1 down to A minor. That's what's happening, right? So he's just playing the scale here. Little chromatic note between notes there. And now here it arrives at E dominant. That's the 5. You got 2 and 5. So you got that's the E part, and then you arpeggiate the E. Just the arpeggio of the dominant. 1, 3, 5, 7, right? It's 1, flat 9, 1. Here's the resolution to A minor by neighbor, upper neighbor. 4, 2, 3, 1. For the 5 of 5, we're in E minor, the 5 is B, right? So this F sharp, it behaves as a dominant of B. It is creating gravity and tension towards the B chord, and it does so, as always, the scale here is a Phrygian dominant, and going to a B, also Phrygian dominant. Right? Você toca muito, filho. Opa, obrigado. Valeu, Otávio. Obrigado, cara. So we got that. So this is just a straight up arpeggio, Phrygian dominant. Starting 1, 3, 5, 7, flat 9, 1. And here you just have to pay attention to the bass because I'm alternating between tonic and 5. So I got tonic, 5, tonic, 5, and you resolve exactly as planned. This guy points to this one, is the 5 of this one, and then you go, well, you're in B dominant. Now I chose to do this kind of like a flamenco type of you know how they do that? So I'm doing this one here on this B dominant. I got B, A, and D sharp is my major third. So I got this. In flamenco, what they would do a little faster, they would do a legato, like a pull off, like this. Right? Or. But here, this is not the language though. In Choro is a lot more marcado. Ta, 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 ta. It's almost like tango. It's very ya, ta, 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 ta. So I chose to actually thumb them down. Sorry about that. Or here. Everybody should know this phrase. It's just present in so many songs. What you're doing is encapsulating the tonic. Starting on the second, go up to the third, major 7, and here. And you can do it here. That's such a classic phrase. So then you go. Is that it? We're back in G. So that is Pedacinho de Céu in a rather improvised manner. Any questions, guys, about this tune? Any questions about this tune? Shall I play it again? Let's do another take. I'm just gonna keep doing a bunch of takes here. Since you guys are not talking to me. Here we go. Pedacinho de Céu, take 2. So that is Pedacinho de Céu, guys. Any questions about the harmony? Everything's pretty clear, right? So the B part, you go to E minor, and then you do that same walk. Tonic, dominant, right? Tonic, dominant, tonic, dominant. Great take. Yeah, that was a decent take. Shall I do another one, or shall we talk about something else? Maybe I'll do another take. I'm gonna record this song here in the channel soon. That's why I decided to cover it today, because I want to do a recording of it. So one more take, yeah. Maybe a little more improvised. was lame ending, but tried. So does that make sense, guys? Does this tune make sense to you? It's a nice tune to play because it's very slow. You can take your time, you can breathe, you can think a little bit. It's not like go, 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 you know? It's a tune that at least in Brazil, a lot of people know it. It's a famous tune. So it's a crowd pleaser, at least here. You know, when you break out this tune, people are always like, oh, yeah, I know that song, you know? It's one of those. It's one of those. I looked for the sheet music in Casa do Choro, but they didn't make it available there, sadly. Huh. Did you try typing PDF and just the name of the tune, which is here, Pedacinho de Céu. That's a standard. Some PDFs, but you know there's a lot of poorly written PDFs out there. Yeah, but this tune is very straightforward. They can't be too creative with it, you know what I mean? Can't be too creative with it. I'm not sure, I would like your feedback, Maciek, about the shape of these lessons. Sometimes I wonder what's better, if it's for me to do a tune, you know, is it better for it to be a tune that's more obscure or more popular? Should I, you know, sometimes I cover a subject, try to cover a subject, but I never know what's the best for the audience, you know? What are the most interesting lives that I have done that, you know, hold the attention and help out the audience? Here we can, as you type the answer, if you are going to, I could cover ideas of improvising, you know, or just explaining the background of what's going on here. So in the beginning, obviously, you have a G major chord. In that situation, you try to go for the chord tones, right? So simple arpeggio is important. Good. Thank you for that answer. That's exactly what I needed to hear. So here we got G major, right? So think about the arpeggios. You gotta get this stuff covered, guys. You know, and then on the F, we got F Lydian dominant here. So how do we spell that out? Then here. And then here. Right? All right, so that's the Lydian dominant, and then going to E dominant. We go to A minor. Yeah, Yeah, that's cool, man. That's how I enjoy doing these, is just share what I'm working on, which was this tune. You know what I mean? So then I help myself out and open up things for you guys. So here's on the A minor section. Here's on our page where I always like to play. That's a phrase that I always do. It's 1 3 5. Sorry, 1 2 3. 1 2 3 5 1. No, 2 octaves. Then once I get here, I go. And here I'm using the technique, the hybrid technique, right? Which is alternating and sweeping. That's what I call the hybrid technique, as opposed to the pure 3-finger technique, which doesn't sweep. That way it would be. Here's hard. Yeah, there's no sweep. Has to be quite a programming here on the right hand. There it is. There's no sweeping. Just alternating. A-M-I. And now sweeping. There. That's sweeping. It's picado more like brushing. Craigslist user. That's a great name. So, brushing. Picado is leaning. That's picado, right? As opposed to free stroke. That's free stroke. And picado. So I'm doing 3-finger picado. Trying to play the phrase. Brushing versus digging. You know, I never heard those terms before. I know digging, I know what that is, but brushing. Oh, like you're doing this instead of this? I guess you would say so, yeah. Kind of like you lean on the guitar, on the string, and press it down, as opposed to outwards, if that's what you're asking. But you know, the best thing to do, man, is try a bunch of ways. Just get the guitar and try a bunch of ways. So that was the tune, guys, for today. Tell me, did you guys understand at all? Did I teach the tune well at all? Did anybody grasp anything at all from that tune? Or was it just me talking out of my ass? Can you guys tell me, like, did you understand a little bit about this tune? So you got this ba ba da da di da 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 do ba da 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 di da di do da da do ba da 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 ba da 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 do da di da do. I tried playing this tune before, but only the accompaniment. And it's a great little tune, man. It's such a beautiful tune. And then it goes to A minor. Oh, I still like to play this dominant. A minor or C. read you, man. I read you. My dog is barking here. I hope you guys are not bothered by this. That's what happens, you know, doing this at home with kids and a dog. That's what you get. All right. All right. So I'm going too fast. Okay. Tell me exactly what part you need. From the beginning and the middle, you know, particularly loved and wondered about some of the runs you did in thirds. Okay. I think I remember something there. Sometimes that I do this a lot. Is this we're talking about the encapsulation when I was in G major? I did this. Is that what you're talking about? That's what I remember. Or sometimes I just do chromatics into the thirds like this. Yeah. Yes, you did. Okay, so that was it. Okay, so what's going on here? This is one of the subjects that I like the most. It's basically encapsulation. It comes from jazz or from classical music. What you're doing is you're looking at these target tones, and then you're playing the upper neighbor and the lower neighbor. Jesus, I gotta make my dog stop barking. Lola. Lola. So basically what this is this. Encapsulation is upper neighbor, that's the next note in the scale, and the lower neighbor is the chromatic below. So you got this. And the third, upper neighbor is the fourth, perfect fourth. And then the lower neighbor is the chromatic. And then here you got the fifth. So I gotta first practice is this. Or first got to get that down, right? There's the below, the upper, and the target. And then you do two at a time. Two together, like this. Again. But the only thing is whenever you have the tonic on top, you have to put it together with the third. So it's not going to be a third, it's going to be a sixth, see? Because if you played a third, you would end up getting the sixth right here, the sixth degree of the scale, which you don't want. Sometimes I do this in a bebop phrase, you know? That can be done. But in this case, in the Brazilian type, I try to stick with the triad. The idea, yeah, and it's always nice, guys, to try to use these tunes to explore improvisation possibilities. You know, it's very important and very pleasurable. Sometimes you may make mistakes or realize a certain choice doesn't quite work, but if you follow harmony, if you follow, you know, if you got clear in your mind what each chord there, what's the family behind it, and you choose those notes, it's gonna work. The phrases are gonna work, and they should be sounding beautiful. All you gotta do is care about the harmony, the nature of each chord, and then try to respect it in your note choice, right? Sure, man. Sure, Phil. Thank you for your comment, man. So it's nice sometimes to do the melody an octave below or above, as you have to repeat that section. So here in the A section, the melody could be like this. That's too low though. chord here. Let's finish off the lesson. Guys, thank you for being here. Nice to see you. I will take on any finishing questions or suggestions or whatever, or donations. Oh yeah, you heard that right. If you guys want to show some loving, hit on that cheese button right underneath this chat. Show me your improvisation skills on that button down there. And anything else, guys? Thank you for your comments. Thank you for your interaction. Yeah, cipher, right? Emerson cipher. Oh, look at that! We got a nice example here. Thank you, my Czech. You are the man, my brother. You are the man. You are the man. Okay, for that, I'm going to run a 3-finger scale exercise here for you guys. Here's just very simple, right? Everybody has heard this pattern before. Just a practice of the 3-finger picado. lá, ó. All right, my brothers, thank you for being here. Thank you for that loving and the attention. Subscribe to the channel or the bed bugs will drive you insane. All right? Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate you. Much love, much love. Mano, você é muito foda. Oh, valeu, negão. Valeu, cara.